Good morning. We are live, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever your time zone is in the world. Isn't it wonderful with technology that we can actually be talking to each other in any country and in any time zone? So today I want to welcome you all and welcome you, Anna. And our topic is a really exciting topic, which is success and gratitude and how they're linked. So, Anna, welcome. Please say hello to everyone.
Thank you, Karen. Hello to everybody. Hello to you, first of all. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to have a conversation with you over StreamYard. And we can, through our conversation, we can share what we're passionate in this life and the purpose of our work to whoever having the, I believe in that chance and the attraction. Like you talk a lot about the law of attraction. You send out a thought or a word, an action, and it attracts the same, similar energy or frequency, and the people to you. And yes, I'm so looking forward to our conversation today with you, and then with everybody who are listening live or watching this video later on.
Yes, me too, Anna. It's one of my favorite subjects, as you know.
Yes.
So let's get started.
Yeah.
What I want to start with is to say that last fortnight, we talked a bit about the law of success and it being related in our commercial activity and exchanges, that if we bless and give thanks for the services and products that we've received, that we're paying for, or that we will receive, if we do that, we will receive even greater good. However, I want to talk about another angle on the law of success, and it goes like this, and this is what I teach in my coaching from my master coach. The law of success goes like this: our thoughts cause our feelings and emotions, which cause the actions that we take, which cause our results or cause our success, because our results come from our success. So if you go back to the beginning of that, it's our thoughts, our feelings, and emotions. And then if we go back to my favorite quote by Einstein, which is everything is energy, that's all there is, match the frequency of your desired reality, and it cannot help but be yours. This is not philosophy, this is physics. And so what he means by that is our frequency comes from our thoughts and our feelings and emotions. So this is proven neuroscience. Most of, if not all of the people who are experts in transformation, and people like Bob Proctor, people like Dr. Joe Dispenza and Joe Brown, many people who have worked in this area talk of, there's another guy I'm thinking of, I want to think of, and he passed away a few years ago, who people will have heard of, but his name eludes me at the moment. They all agree that our thoughts are a frequency, that this is neuroscience now. We can measure them. We can measure our thought frequency, thought patterns in the brain, and our emotions are too. So a thought then charged with emotion really amplifies the frequency and the energy that's involved with that frequency. Now, why we say where does gratitude fit in is that when we think thoughts of gratitude, when we think thoughts of how grateful we are, when we give gratitude around how grateful we are for something that has happened, or here's the thing that most people don't realize, is that we can be grateful for something that hasn't yet happened, that we would like to have happened in our life. Okay? So when we give thoughts for either something that has happened or things that we have in our life, positive things, or we give gratitude for something that hasn't yet happened that we would love, This is at a frequency of over 500. Gratitude, joy, happiness are all at a frequency of over 500 hertz. And so that is the frequency that your desired dreams and reality are at. You would love to have something in your life. I would be so happy and grateful to have something in my life, something I don't have. That vision, that dream is a frequency as well. It's a blueprint. We write it out as a written energetic blueprint of our lives, and it carries an energy, whether we write it or think it. What we would love carries that frequency. And so when we enhance our thoughts and feelings of success, because remember last week we talked about success can be anything for anyone. It can be what it means to us to feel successful. So when we marry those two things up, gratitude, success, desires, we amplify the results exponentially. What do you think, Anna? I've got someone online commenting. Can you see Stanley's comments?
Yes. Hi, Stanley. Have different sensory input which correspond to different frequency levels. Thank you, Stanley, for sharing the sentiments. Yeah, same belief.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And this is I totally agree with you, Karen. From what I read, from what I believe, from what I've learned, I too choose to believe that we have to match our thought frequency with whatever we want to have in our life. And let's just make it simple. Like if you compare a piece of dirt and a piece of gold, you look at both of them, you can feel different. When you hold them in your hand, you can feel different as they appear with the existence of dirt and the existence of gold in your hands. It will be really different. Yeah. And they, each of the existence carry within them the information. The information that form dirt is very different to the information that form gold. And gold, I'm sure, because of different information, they have carried different energy. And we can feel that energy, or we can measure the energy of these two. They will be different at a different level of energy, or we can call it vibrational frequency. Yeah. And so they appear different. And so they are valued different as well. If we apply that same rules to human being, I'm sure a healthy person will look different to a unhealthy person. Two people sitting next to each other, you can tell, you can look at them and see the level of energy in them, and their appearance is different, right? And the life in a healthy person will be different to the source of energy in the person who lie in a sick bed. Or a wealthy person sitting next to a poor person, they appear different and they act different. You can feel their energy as well. So for that reason, I can see if we look at things as they are, if we look deeper, you see the information within their mind is different. So that match with their frequency. Just simple like that. If you can change the information in somebody's head, I'm sure that will shift the energy level and the appearance of the person. Like someday I wake up thinking, I don't know what to do today. Straight away, my energy drop because of that thought. But someday I wake up thinking, oh, such a wonderful day. I'm going to finish these things. And I am so grateful for having this day. Straight away, my energy shift and lift straight away. You can see the change just by changing the thought in the mind. Just like I am just sad like this, and then I say, no, why am I sad? I better smile right now. Just putting a fake smile on my face can shift straight away, and then the appearance shift and the thought shift and the emotion shift. And so I can totally agree with you for that. So, but I love what you said about the frequency of what hasn't happened. How do we hold that? That is the trick that I find it tricky someday, because I have a big vision, and the gap between now and then is quite big. And whenever I look into that void, I straight away lose my belief in the fact that I'm going to achieve it. Like I set a goal for 10 years, and that 10 years goal have a big gap, right? And then from where I am is like point A, and that is point B for me. And that's a journey that I can lose my hope or my belief in any point in that. So how am I holding that high frequency of believing 100% that is going to be there for me, that I am going to achieve that? And how do I hold that energy is, the secret that you've been sharing. How do I hold that high frequency a whole way along the journey to get to that level of success? That last week we talked about, like, success is achieving what we aspire, we desire, right? If we don't believe that we will achieve it, we won't act. We only act when we believe and have hope, fully hope that it's going to happen. And that trigger our action. So how do you hold that energy? How do you hold that level of high frequency the whole way in order to match that levels of success in the next 5 years or the next 10 years or the rest of your life? Yeah.
Good question, Anna. And you absolutely can hold it. You absolutely can stay in that frequency for most of the time when you know how. The first basic 101 is, like you said, to have the dream, the vision, the big goals clear, even in writing, if possible, because when we write things, we connect a different part of our brain. But to have them clearly set out of where we want to go, where our successes, where we're aiming for, who we want to be, how we want our lives to be. We don't have to know how we're going to do it, but we do want to know how our lives will look if we were achieving that life we would love.
I love that question. Yeah.
Yeah.
How we want to live our life is so much more important question than what do you want to do? Like you said, how we come, what do you want to do, we come. But how do we want to live our life? Yes.
And who do we want to be? And our results are a perfect out. Here's the thing. Our results we have now today, our level of success we've achieved today, are a perfect outer reflection of our inner paradigms. So in order to change our results, it's an inside out job through changing our paradigms. So let me explain with you briefly what a paradigm is, because most people have heard the word, but they may not know, and also how to change them. So our paradigms are simple. They are basically a set of beliefs, feelings, and actions that shape our current results. So in your case, if you've been struggling with one particular area of your life or one particular goal or part that you would like to achieve, or you'd love to up-level something, creating new long-term sustainable results requires the installation of a new paradigm. It's like a program. It's like we run programs. And let's have a look at fear, because fear is actually what holds most people back, stops most of us from achieving that exponential success that we would love in our lives, in our businesses, in our careers, in our relationships, and in our health. So we live in the land of polarity. As soon as you have a dream or a vision, everything that's unlike that dream or vision is going to pop up, all the circumstances that are current in your life, and it's going to argue for why you can't be, do, have, or give what you really want to be, do, have, or give. That's the part of us that brings in that little conversation in our head. Now, at the same time, there is that in you that is more than the circumstances you're facing. But you will not find that or know that or deliver that without some skills and strategies for how you manage your thinking. So that you can stay at that vibration that we're talking about, Anna, that's harmonious with the answers that tell you what your next step is. And I want to tell you a little story. You love my stories, Anna, don't you? About Einstein.
Yes.
And how he looked at, he worked with this work. And he looked around one day and he was facing some problems. And he realized that by thinking my best thinking, this is a sort of quote, has gotten me to this place. Some of what my thinking did for me worked, and some of what my thinking did for me hasn't worked. And the thinking that I've got right now is not a solution thinking. It doesn't have the answers in it. I need to move to a different order of thinking where my solutions will be found. And so what is reporting is Einstein said the current problems you face, problems and challenges that we face, cannot be solved with the level of thinking that has created the problem. But there is another level of thinking where the answers lie. We don't find that by paying attention to our fears, problems, and challenges. We don't find that by entering our doubts. We find that by flicking fear in the face and actually looking at the thinking process on the positive, on the gratitude, on the asking questions about what is my next step to move me forward into this goal, vision, and dream life that I have. Who can I speak with who will help me? What can I do tomorrow to further me towards my goal? What is one step I can take with what I have right now? Because we all have some fear today, and we can just flick fear in the face when we realize that our fear is not even real, it's in our thinking. And we can actually point our way down that day and stay on that way and make it the best day that you have every day, because every second that we're alive is a gift. So we can be grateful for the gift when we wake up in the morning. We can be grateful for whatever it is that we have, and we can be so grateful for that which we would love that we don't yet have in our lives.
I think it's so true. If you can be grateful for like waking up every single day, if we can live in that state of mind, it is feeling wonderful. However, sometimes we lost that. We often lost the feeling when we look into something so big and we are aspiring for something more, and we don't look back up of the progress that we achieved so far. And don't appreciate the little things that we have every day. And then we think, oh, they're nothing at all. Like I remember when I first finished my first degree, I felt, oh, I've done it. Nothing at all. I don't feel like I'm anybody by achieving the whole degree. When 4 years before that, I tried so hard to get into university. And at that point in time, I thought, oh, if I get into uni, I would be so happy, so grateful. But once I completed it, I forgot that I actually have done so much, try so hard to get there. And then later on, when I try to get to go overseas, for example, I tend to forget the fact that I try a lot. I work hard on it, and I didn't appreciate it. And I don't know why we have the tendency to not appreciate what we've done or what we got. We always look into something that we haven't got and then judge ourselves against something that is way too out of reach. When we appreciate what we got and we can keep reaching further, which is so much better. That mindset hasn't got to me until like very recent years. And now when I look at my daughter, I can see every single day, very simple gesture When I give her something, she just give me a massive hug and say, "Thank you, Mom, for giving me this." And I feel like I give her the world just because of that one little gesture. You know, we would do anything to give her the world if she just say, "Thank you, Mom. I love you so much." And I think that symbol law applied just right there and then. And I can see she wouldn't say, "I don't think I can become 18 and become successful." She doesn't think like that. She's just like she's 9 and she have full belief in herself that she's growing and she's going to be 20. And by the time she's 20, she will be totally different person to a 9-year-old. And what she knows now is nothing compared to what she will know and gain and achieve by the time she's 20, right? And that is a natural process. And she just go with it with so much grace in her. And she doesn't judge herself for, I am not good enough to become 20. But I don't know why, as an adult, we stop thinking like that. Yeah. And now saying that, all of a sudden I feel like better. Like I can go into my 60s in grace the way my daughter is going into her 20 in the next 10 years, right? I just share the same sentiment, being, thankful for, a new set of clothes, and we take her to the shop and get her a new top. She'll be so elated, right? So she's happy being given anything in order to survive, to grow up. And she doesn't have anything. Like, she doesn't have money, but she doesn't have to worry. The money will come to her somehow. The meal will come to her somehow, because she has that full belief that she's here, exists, and just being happy, and she provided. And I don't know where the children have that, and can we have that much? The gratitude of a child in order to keep going with our days.
That's a really good point, Anna, and I want to talk to that, and then I'll answer your question, Linda. Here's the thing. As children, we think, if we're brought up in a family like yours, Anna, we believe that, as you said, the money will come and the food will just come. We're provided for because we are. At some point, when we become adults, or even in different societies or in different families, that belief isn't there. That belief changes, where we go from, "Oh, I'm provided for," to all these different beliefs that I'm not provided for, that I'm going to fail, that I don't have enough, that I'm not enough, that I won't succeed, and all of those beliefs that are negative beliefs and decisions that we've made. And that is what stops us from having our happiness, our joy, our fulfillment, and our success. It's the change in our beliefs. So if we believed that we were provided for, which we are, by the universe, the cosmos, God, whatever you believe in, we are provided for. And if we kept telling ourselves that, it would change our level of our frequency that we operate at. It would change our beliefs. It would change our success and our gratitude and our experience in life. So, Linda, to answer your question, you've got, how do we match and accelerate our thoughts when we're in a stuck moment or needing a different energy? Well, that's a great question, because first of all, recognizing that we're in a stuck moment is very powerful. So most people don't even realize that they're in a stuck moment until we start to notice the thoughts that are going through our head, or the things that, the challenges and the problems and the things that we're coming up. So the first thing is to notice that we are in a stuck moment, and then notice the thoughts that are going on. Are we in fear? Are we in doubt? Are we having thoughts of not having enough of something? Because remember, it's not about what's out there. It's as I said in the beginning, our results come from inside. And yet we're programmed, or our belief systems are such that we believe that our results come from outside, which is just simply not the case. So to match and accelerate our thoughts, we're in a stuck moment, it's about, one, having that belief, that dream life that we have pictured, because we think in pictures, and then written out, that life we would love to be living, having that in clarity written down, defined in clarity. That's the first thing. The second thing is then to read it as often as we can and see ourselves being that person living that life, imagining that we're there. Because it's an unconscious mind thing. Did you know that if you do something and tell something to your unconscious mind often enough, it believes it's reality? It believes that is the reality. You can fool your unconscious mind into believing that something is happening. Whoops, we've lost Anna. That something is reality. And then your body and your chemicals and your hormones and everything else your brain will cause all of those to react as if that is your reality. And that, of course, will then make it more easy for it to become your reality. So thinking, I'm so happy and grateful now that my life is how you want it to be, is one of the first ways. I am so happy and grateful are the powerful words that we start our vision of our 10 out of 10 life with. And reading that or thinking that every day, even a miniature version of it, every day or several times a day, is so powerful, and it will immediately change your energy. So Henry David Thoreau talks about that in his essay, the Walden Essay, and there's a quote for his code for success. And it goes like this, and I hope you're going to come back. Let me just find it so I can read it perfectly for you, because I am a recovering perfectionist. So he wrote the secret code. Yeah, I know. Can you come back in? I'll just answer Anna. We've lost Anna. I just want to I'm pretty sure we're still online. Are we still online, Linda and Stanley? Yeah, we are. So we've lost Anna. Let's see if we can get her back, and I'd love to read you the code that Henry David Thoreau created or wrote in his Walden Essay, and it was his experiment with life. What he did was he went to live in the woods for 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days to really experience life, and to write the essay about his meaning of success and how to achieve it. And it goes like this. This is part of the essay, his code for success. If one advances confidently in the direction of their dream, endeavoring to live the life they are imagining, one passes an invisible boundary and meets with a success unexpected in common hours. All sorts of things begin to occur that never otherwise would have occurred. New, more universal liberal laws begin to establish themselves around that person, or the old laws are rearranged in one's favour. Nevertheless, one begins to live with the license of a higher order of being. Now, this is a really powerful statement in code. Here we go. We've got Anna back. Hi, Anna.
Hi. Apology for
That's okay.
Technical issue. Yes.
That's okay. What I did was I just read out Henry David Thoreau's code for success for our listeners. And it's so.
I'm
and I was
grateful
just
for you, and thank you for waiting, and thank you for being so graceful. Yeah. Yeah. So, what would you like me to add to our conversation? I think since I knew the secret of maintaining, sustaining that sense of gratitude, I could see that my life shift, everything changed. My everyday life is so much better. And relationship has become so much better when you show gratitude. Like, I'm so grateful for my daughter, and I show her every single day. Grateful for my husband, and I show him every single day. I tell him that, and it's just the result in return is nothing compared to being ungrateful. And so relationship has been so much better. I appreciate people present in my life, and appreciate everything I've got. And I actually got so much, like, on my table and the desk around me. I got computer, I got books, I got pens, I got light, I got so many things. And when I look into every single thing, I can see labors of millions of people behind that. Like for the iPhone to have in my hands, I know that China have to be involved, America have to be involved. Steve Jobs used to be, the one who created it. Even though he's no longer around, I'm grateful for him, because of him, or because of all the people behind him and all the people before him that create electricity and all that. And when we look deeply, every single item carry a work, labor, and thought by millions of people. And I'm grateful for my own self, for my health, for every cells in my body that function properly for me to be able to sit here and to say what I can say now, when I used to be so ungrateful that I didn't like my look, I didn't like my accent, I didn't like my English, and so on and so on. But now, with the shift of gratitude, I find that a lot of people cannot even talk, and a lot of people cannot even say hello, even if they wanted to. A lot of people cannot even, don't have the hand in order to, hold people we love. So, yeah, I would say just a shift in gratitude will change everything in my everyday life. And life is the same. I don't have anything more yet. However, I feel like I have more than enough already, and I feel so much much more simple to have more in life, because, like, I didn't expect my husband to be so nice to me, but all of a sudden he turned around and he was so nice. Or I didn't expect my daughter to come home and run to me and tell me, "You're the best mom," but she does that every day, because I appreciate her so much. Yeah, so I find that the change, just a shift, and how to maintain that attitude of gratitude.
That's so true, Anna. That's so true, and that's a really good example of how to give gratitude. We can wake up every morning, and some people say, "Oh, I don't know what to be grateful for." If you just look around you, like Anna said, the things on your desk, the computer and the phone and the technology and the ability to communicate between ourselves, which is what we said, the ability for us to talk to people all around the world, our children, our partners. There's so many things that we can think 100 things in the morning to be grateful for if we choose to. And it does change how we feel when we do it. So, Linda, giving gratitude, blessing things. So, one of the things we talk about is blessing. When we're paying a bill, paying an invoice, paying someone for a service or a service or a commodity, is to bless them, is to bless that business, so that we are actually feeling our gratitude for receiving that service. It's very powerful. And Stanley, I just want to comment on the comments that Stanley and Linda, thank you both so much for participating. It's really great to have participation and know that you're there. And Stanley, thanks for answering Linda with your view around the sensory inputs that we create and how to change through changing those. Linda, you talk about having a comedy show that make you laugh. Laughing is another way to change your energy. And even, there are laughter therapists, and you've probably all heard of this. Even if you don't feel like laughing, if you make yourself laugh, like even if there's not something funny that you are laughing at, if you make yourself laugh, it changes your frequency. It really does. And it's very good for our facial expressions and our facial muscles as well.
Yeah.
So yes, Stanley, I love that you say you have to think outside the box, find the solutions the box created, which is basically what Einstein said. And it takes an effort of mind to think as a child. Yes, we could talk about our imagination and the way that children think on another time. It's great to have you here. Yes, Linda, we do create our results. Our time has run out, so I'd love to say anything final you want to add, Anna, and we'll bring this today to a close.
Yeah, I say every single day we can generate a lot of different attitude. We can have an attitude of, criticism, attitude of a sadness, attitude of, greatness, or attitude of, so like if we can have 70,000 thoughts a day, we have 70,000 attitude matching with them. However, we can choose to have the attitude that give us a sense of happiness. And then out of all of that, all the greatest successful people pick the one attitude to focus on and work on and focus all the energy on, the attitude of gratitude. I used to ask myself, why? Why do they all talk about gratitude? They all talk about, out of all thousands of gratitude attitude in a day, why they pick this one. And they've written in so many different books about the attitude of gratitude. And I used to wonder, but now I come to believe that if they all saying the same thing, why don't I just adopt it, believe it, and and do it and practice it, and then see how it goes. And I did that. At one point I decided I had enough information to confirm that is really beneficial. So I started writing in my journal for a period of time. So I sit down and write I'm grateful for something in the day, and then the more I write, the more I realize that in each of these piece of item, if I look deeper into it, there's so many people involved in everything I got. And then I have a deep sense of gratitude for my existence and for everybody existence. Everybody exists for a reason, even if they give us difficulty. They exist for a reason, to give us lessons or to give us something, a lesson behind everything. So with that, I felt, and one day I realized, oh my God, I have to maintain this sense of gratitude. I have to keep this emotion in me more often than not. And once I decided that, my life shifted for so much better. Yeah. So if people out there haven't believed in it yet, maybe read some more, find some more books about attitude of gratitude, and read more about the law of attraction. And then one day you will believe in it, and you act on it and practice it and do it daily, and then at some point, when now I don't need to write anymore. It's just a present, a continuous sense of gratitude throughout the day. And that shifted my way of being and living. And I love my life. I love everything around me now. So that would be maybe something that I share. At the journey, I was slow because I was stubborn. I didn't believe in something straight away. It took me 3 years of reading and being convinced that attitude alone, gratitude alone, can fix a lot of problems. Yeah.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. And that's so true. Thank you for sharing your journey through discovery of gratitude. And, one thing I want to to pick up on that you mentioned and to point out is our attitude and to notice it. So you mentioned, do we have an attitude of criticism? And I want to point out that most people actually do criticize. If you listen to conversations that are either in your own head or other people sitting having coffee or whatever, you will find that probably 80-90% of people sit there and complain and criticize. So we not only criticize, but we complain about things. And so my suggestion is to stop criticizing, to stop complaining, to notice what you do and how you do it and how your thought processes are, and then take control over them. Because criticism and complaining is in a low frequency, and it's in that area that's not going to get you where you want to be, where you want to go. And then focus on having thoughts that are grateful, that are the opposite to complaining, because you'll always find them if you look for them. So on that note, we're out of time. I want to say thank you so much for joining us, Stanley and Linda, and the other people who have come on or who will watch the replay, people who perhaps haven't been brave enough to make any comments. And we will see you in 2 weeks with our next topic of meaningful conversations. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you for running this show, and thank you, Stanley and Linda. Your input and your presence make this talk amazing. You know, like I truly appreciate the presence of you all, and I hope that we can meet and we can talk, we can connect in the days to come. So thank you.
So thank you, Anna. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Have a beautiful week. Have a beautiful 2 weeks. And I hope to see you again on our Meaningful Conversations in 2 weeks' time. Bye.
Bye.